Can we go ahead and get started? I want to go ahead and introduce our hostess for today. If I can find my little bio of her real quick. My emails. Apologize for the slowness. I'm not your technical person, but anyway, good afternoon and thank you for joining us. My name is Patrick Wallace. I'm the project manager for Give Day 2025. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to our facilitator today, who will be talking to us about Canva. She is Arkayla Tenney-Howard, and she's a strategic communications expert dedicated to amplifying underrepresented voices and driving lasting social change. She has over 8 years of experience in digital organizing, narrative development, and campaign management. She specializes in crafting messaging that resonates and inspires action. As a communications consultant, Arkayla has worked with nonprofits ranging from grassroots groups to philanthropic organizations, equipping their teams to become board champions and confidently share their mission. From creating direct action toolkits to leading capacity building workshops, Arkayla thrives at the intersection of creativity and impact. Her expertise spans developing storytelling initiatives, executing multi-channel marketing campaigns, and advancing equity-centered movements. She's passionate about fostering connection and driving meaningful engagement. She is committed to making every project impactful, effective, and rooted in collective empowerment. And she is here today to talk to us about Canva. And they are all yours, Arkayla.
Thank you. Okay, so does anyone else not know what face to make when someone's reading your bio? It's like the most awkward moment, right? So welcome. Thank you so much for that introduction, Patrick. Thank you to the St. Louis Community Foundation for letting me host this workshop. So one thing you're going to learn about me really quickly is that I love Canva. I've been using Canva since I was in college. It's a huge part of my personal consulting business. I use it for almost every single project that I do for clients. And I promise you that by the end of this hour and a half, you are going to love Canva too. So I'm going to get started. So welcome into Canva. The screen that I'm sharing is, guess what, made in Canva. And so instead of using a traditional PowerPoint, I actually made my presentation in Canva today. Some of the perks of that, you'll get to see my branding. My business is Wildflower Communications. I wear flowers all the time. Everything about my business is about the freedom to grow as a wildflower does. So let's get into it. So to start, I want to get to know you guys just a little bit. And so I'm going to have this screen on in the background, which I'll explain in just a second. So when I start a workshop, I love to get everyone feeling good to get started. So one of the things that I like to do is something called gratitude list. So I'm going to just shout out a topic in a second. And then you guys are going to run to the chat to tell me something that you're grateful for. So if I say, name a song that you're grateful for, then you guys will drop a song in the chat. So 1, 2, 3, go. If you guys can drop a song in the chat that you're currently grateful for. This morning, my song is, man, I've listened to a lot of music this morning. I would say Petals by Raveena, if you haven't listened to that song. Let's see. Girls Just Want to Have Fun is a good one. That warm weather has us ready to be outside. I knew somebody would say Beyonce. Thank you, thank you. I don't know that I'm in a hurry and I don't know why. I'll have to check that one out. Yes, we love Tamala Man. Awesome, awesome. Okay, you guys can keep dropping those songs. Let's think of another one. Name a fruit that you're grateful for today. Mine is going to be grapes because those are my favorite. Yes, apples, strawberries. Okay, now they're rolling in. Everybody knows the fruit, right? Pineapples, we love it. All right, let's see. This one might be a little bit harder. Name a vegetable that you're super grateful for. Okay, we got some unique ones. Squash and asparagus I wasn't expecting. We do love broccoli. I see the passion fruit up there. Yes, greens. Dorinda, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but you can make me some greens whenever you would like. We do love spinach. We love avocado. Awesome, awesome. And so the last one, if you can drop the name of a person that you're grateful for today. Yes, seaweed. We also love seaweed. Yes. Today I'm grateful for Kenyatta, my mother. We love it. Love it. Absolutely. Whoever, I can't, I'm like, who put Arkayla? Thank you. Thanks, Patrick. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for participating in that. So once again, I like to do gratitude lists because I feel like it just raises everybody's mood. We don't always get the chance to talk about the things that we're grateful for. And when we're going into fundraising mindset, fundraising mode, sometimes it gets really intense and we're like, oh my gosh, we have to make sure everybody else is grateful for us enough to donate. But sometimes we also want to stop and pause and think, what are we grateful for? So as we're talking about fundraising, there are two concepts that I want to talk about because I've worked in nonprofits in St. Louis for a while, and it's abundance mindset and scarcity mindset. So oftentimes we're competing for resources, at least that's how we perceive it. We're always scared that there's not going to be enough to go around to everyone. And that creates this tension between organizations. It prevents collaboration. We want to shift from a scarcity mindset, there's not enough for me and you, to an abundance mindset. There's enough resources and opportunities for everyone in this space and everyone registered for Give STL Day to get the funding that they need for their organization. Do I have any questions so far about scarcity mindset, abundance mindset? I just like to open with this in nonprofit spaces, just reminding us that we're all doing amazing work. We all have missions that we believe in strongly, visions that we will accomplish, and the resources are there to do it. So I'm going to keep going. So you guys got to know me a little bit through my bio, but as you can tell, I feel like I'm a pretty bubbly person. There's some other things I would love for you to know about me before we get started. So I call myself a strategic storytelling specialist. Sometimes I say a communications expert. The title changes. But at the root of what I do is stories and connection. Like I said, pretty bubbly, love to connect with people, very social, always been chatty since I was a kid, gotten a lot of trouble in school for that. And I love communications. I love the way that it connects us to missions. I love the way it connects us to art, to each other, all of that. I was born in Belleville, so I was actually born on the east side of the river in the Metro East. So shout out to Give STLA for including the Metro East. I earned my bachelor's in public relations from Kent State University in 2019. I'm an Aquarius, for those who believe in astrology. I live right here in Dutchtown in St. Louis. I have 4 rescued fur babies, one of them that just got rescued this weekend. And so if you guys hear any type of chaos, my apologies in advance. But we have a puppy in the house that we just got from the Brentwood shelter this weekend who is giving us some really fun challenges. So if you hear any crazy noises, just know that might happen. I started my consulting business, Wildflower Communications, 5 years ago, actually, as of next week. So look out for some blogs on all my social media soon. I actually was working for Generate Health here in St. Louis, if y'all have ever heard of them, and just kind of noticed this need for increased communications capacity for a lot of different organizations, specifically in the grassroots nonprofits realm. And so I just started doing flyers and social media graphics, and then it blossomed and bloomed. I moved all the way to Los Angeles, working with the Los Angeles Youth Uprising Coalition, doing social media graphics in projects and campaigns. I worked in both the nonprofit space and for-profit. So this video down here at the bottom, the Making a Baby Yoda drink, I ran social media for the South Grand Business District for a while. I've worked for a variety of organizations here in St. Louis, including Metropolitan Congregations United, Metro Trans Umbrella Group. Obviously, I worked with Generate Health. Worked for Mellow Freeze Ice Cream Shop on the east side. If anybody wants some really good ice cream, they're a great place. And I teach meme workshops. So this Canva workshop can be kind of customized to what you're doing. And this past fall, I actually taught it as a meme workshop where everybody came in and we just made memes. When I tell you, I never imagined my life could be so cool that I get paid to teach people how to make memes. That was definitely like a highlight moment for me. So I feel like that tells you a little bit about who I am. I'm also a writer. My apologies, didn't mean to flip screens on you. I'm also a writer. I write poetry, working on short stories. I'm actually releasing my first book of poetry in April. So I'm going to take a deep breath and get kind of settled into my spot. Do you guys have any questions about who I am or what we're going to be doing here today? Going once, going twice. Cool. Sounds like everyone's doing good. So we're going to kick it off with a little activity. I would love for you guys to look at what's on your screen right now. If you have a notebook handy, if you want to open up a Word document, I want you to fill in the blanks on this. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to do it. This activity is for us to really think about, why are we here in this room today? What are we doing? So I'm going to pause for a second and just stare at you guys creepily through Zoom as you guys work on just writing these things down and thinking about, what are your motivations for working at your organization? What are your motivations for being in here today? Why do you care about this? Why should people donate to your organization? All these questions. So I'm going to mute myself and let you guys work on that for about the next 2 minutes. Any questions so far? Please feel free to throw them in the chat or come off mute. And yes, I am going to ask you to share, at least a couple of you. Okay, would anyone like to share what they wrote? Feel free to keep writing if you're still going. Anyone? All right. Thank you. Elevate Branson is building a tiny house village with 70 units to help with the affordable housing crisis in our area. Thank you so much for sharing, Chris. That's really awesome. Chris, if you want to come off mute and share, please, no pressure if you don't want to, and share, why does that matter to you? Why are you so excited for that work? No pressure if you don't want to come off mute. I can't see everyone that's here, so there we go. Now I can.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. Will you ask your question again, please?
Yeah, so why does that work feel so important to you? What's your personal, why are you so passionate about this?
The people that we serve, we call our neighbors. And so we get to see them, look into their eyes and shake their hands and see where they might be stuck in life. And so we're helping to get them to their next step, whatever that might be. And for a lot of them, it's trying to find affordable housing. So it's nice to see people housed and now they can work on next steps like transportation and jobs or whatever else might be their next step.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I love something about Missouri that I did not find in LA was the sense of community, the connection. We care about our neighbors. I was missing the Midwest, y'all, when I moved out there. Really happy to be back. Nobody looked at me crazy when I said y'all. But so nice. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that. Definitely that community and supporting your neighbors is a big part. Would anyone else like to share what they wrote, why they're passionate about the work that they do at their organization? Feel free to come off mute. I can't see if any hands are raised. I'm trying to click through, but just come right on off mute if you would like to share. I'm hoping maybe one or two more people. Casey, I feel like we keep making Zoom eye contact. I'm gonna call you. I see you. Would you like
Good
to
afternoon.
share?
I can share mine. Or yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Cheryl Watts. I am the treasurer of the Legend Singers Choral Ensemble. We are an organization in its 84th year of performance, and our mission is to perform and to preserve the music of African Americans and African American inspired artists, as well as develop outreach opportunities to the community to educate them in these performance practices and in preserving our music, especially the African American spiritual. And I'm a proud member of more than 35 years for the organization as a singer. And we have done well in the past few years in garnering financial support and in growing our programs, but we want to get bigger. We want to have some newer initiatives to spread our work further across the St. Louis metropolitan area.
Awesome. That is exciting. Thank you so much for sharing. And you absolutely should get bigger. I have not heard of you yet, but hearing you talk, I'm like, wait a minute, I need to know you all. So thank you so much for sharing. I see Ruby, your hand is raised.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me just unmute myself here.
You are unmuted. We can hear you.
Oh, fantastic.
Hello.
Great. Hi. My name is Ruby, and I am the coordinator of the Black Power Blueprint promotions team. And Black Power Blueprint is a project of the African People's Education and Defense Fund, which is a Black-led institution that is building programs to deal with every aspect of life and really uplifting the conditions on the North Side, including health, housing, access to food, human rights, and economic self-determination.
Wow,
So
thank
I'm
you.
really honored to participate in this work, and under the leadership of our president, Onizine Yashatella, and really look forward to learning more about using Canva, and working with many volunteers to produce information to promote this work.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I'm actually working with Project Connect a little bit, and supporting some projects on the north side as well. So thank you for sharing. Carlette, I see your hand is raised.
Hello, I'm Carlette Smith with Dr. Youth Services. I'm in St. Louis, but we emphasize in Dutchtown, Gravois Park, Marlene Villa, and Mount Pleasant areas. Our goal is to get at-risk youth off of the streets into different activities, employed, educated, anything you can think of, community service. And we try to help overall young people to better themselves in their situations. But we also know that without helping the entire family unit, we can't best service the child. So we try to help even their parents as well, to kind of all encompass it with wraparound services.
That's awesome.
So the reason that I'm here today, as well as my youth specialist, Portia Thomas, we're both here because we know that AI and Canva are a good space to reach our young people, because they're technically more advanced, or even it's all about your phone, laptop, tablet, and we have to reach them. And if advertising through Canva could help us meet that market, or even get them more aware of what our programs offer and how we can help them, we're all for it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And heck yeah, around the wraparound services and holistic approach to supporting youth. I love that. Thank you for sharing. One more, Alicia, I see your hand is raised. Do you want to come off mute?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All righty. Hello everyone. My name is Alicia Deal, and I am the president and founder of Village of Moms, STL. My work made me feel passionate and dedicated. When we meet families and youth, specifically Black families and youth, I know that we can achieve a future where Black kids receive quality education and be able to succeed further as high school. I am proud to work in this space where hunger meets passion, and that results into resilience and empowerment.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I know Village of Moms well. Awesome organization. So thank you all for sharing. So it sounds like we have a lot of, shocker, mission-driven people here. I feel like that's what it is to work in nonprofit, right? Probably all of us have worn about 20 different hats in the past 2 weeks working in nonprofit, getting ready for Give STL Day, and just really trying to change the world. I feel like, yes, we are humble, right? We know that we are working with our neighborhoods because this work fuels us and feeds us and makes the world better for us. But let's also acknowledge and clap it up, snap it up for the fact that we're all mission driven and we're here because we care about these things, and we're excited to see the world change. And now we're going to head into a little bit of communication strategy. So yes, I know that we're super excited for this Canva tutorial, but before getting into that, I really want to think about how we set goals. So I'm going to talk about SMART goals. There's a lot of different sectors and industries that use SMART goals. Finance uses SMART goals, communications uses SMART goals, sales uses SMART goals. And one of the reasons that I went into public relations was because I found out about this thing called goals and research. In public relations, if you do your research, you can make a really solid goal and then you kind of always win. And I'm from St. Louis. I love sports. I love to win, right? And so what I love about communications is that you can be a winner kind of all of the time if you have a solid goal that you set at first. So how to write a really good goal. Use the SMART acronym. S stands for specific. M stands for measurable. A is for attainable. R is for realistic. And T is for time bound. So any goals that you set, you want to make sure that the details are very specific about what you're doing. You want to make it measurable. So the goal can't be, I want to save the world. It can be, I want to provide 10 meals to families this week, right? You want to make sure that it's attainable. Personally, I would love to save 100 puppies this year. Realistically, I got this one shelter pup this weekend that I can handle right now, right? So make it attainable and realistic, and then time bound. You have to give yourself a deadline for when you're going to do it, or else it's just kind of floating up in space like I might achieve this eventually. So when you're thinking about your SMART goals for your fundraising, you want to think about 3 questions as well. What action do you want people to take? Donations this time, right? How can you get people to take this action? And then what are the measurable outcomes of this action? So considering all of these, I wrote a quick SMART goal that could work for any of you if you would like to do this, or for my organization. I want to encourage 15 people in my network to donate at least $20 to my organization by May 8th. So that is specific. I know it's 15 people. I know that it's going to be people in my network, so it's measurable and attainable because I know that. I know that I want them to donate at least $20, pretty measurable once again, and time bound. I need it to happen by May 8th. So I want to give everyone a second to write a SMART goal. Don't just think about it, write it down, okay? I really want you guys to think about what you're trying to achieve here and write it down. Another tip, for this workshop, I would love for you to think about you as an individual. You are not thinking about your entire organization. You're thinking about you as a representative of your organization. So I know for me, it's feasible to get 15 people to donate $20. There might be someone here that has a really broad network and they can get 50 people to donate $50. I want you to take a second and think about you as a representative of your organization. What is a goal for you during this giving day? And I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to think about those goals. If you have any questions, feel free to come off mute. I'll be here for just a second. Silent. I know I talk a lot, so I'll give you guys a second to write. And then if anyone would like to drop their goal in the chat, that would be awesome. Then I like to do temperature checks. If you're feeling good and want to drop a thumbs up emoji or give me a physical thumbs up, a sideways thumbs down, just kind of let me know. And if at any time throughout the call, you're like, wait, I'm not vibing with this, you can straight up thumbs down in the camera. You can also use the emojis in Zoom as well. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Tracy. Feeling good. All right, how are those SMART goals coming along? Would anyone like to come off mute and share? We've got time for maybe 2-3 people. It's okay if we're feeling quiet. It's a Monday. All right, we're gonna move on in it. I don't see any hands raised. All right, drum roll, please. We're getting into the Canva tour. So now we're about to do the real fun stuff. We're gonna teach you guys how to use Canva. So if I can have everyone go ahead and open Canva. I'm gonna open it myself as well. So you can just go to canva.com. I can actually drop that in the chat. Perfect. Thank you, Ruby. I didn't see your chat at first. So build a team of 5 people to share the social media for Black Power movement and promo on a daily basis. Quick question. How long are you giving yourself to do this, Ruby? Is this by the end of this week? Is this by the end of the year? You got to make sure that you're adding a timestamp. That way you know when you're checking to see if you achieve your goal. And Alicia, I would like to use my agency visibility, increase my agency visibility by 40% by attending at least 3 monthly outreach events by the end of each month. Perfect. That's got your time, all of that. I also dropped the canva.com link in the chat. So if we can all head into Canva. Thank you, Ruby. Add that deadline. Perfect. Okay. So if I can get thumbs ups some type of message that you guys are in Canva, you've made an account, totally grab just the free account right now. I'll share more details on that in a bit. We can get some thumbs ups either on my message in the chat, physical thumbs ups. Thank you, thank you. Awesome, 50 responses to the survey about audience demographics by June 1st. Thank you, Cheryl, that sounds good. You guys got the SMART goals down. I'm telling you, setting SMART goals is everything. Funny story, I am kind of crazy about project management, and I bring my style of work into my relationship. And my boyfriend and I recently moved in together, and I require him to do weekly meetings with me. And sometimes we set SMART goals for our relationship. Like, okay, we want to save this much money by this day. We want to have the dogs listening this often by this day. And so, yes, SMART goals work everywhere. Not just in communications. Cool. So we've got Canva up and open. Awesome. So you guys can see my blank Canva screen. We're no longer on the PowerPoint, correct? So you're going to see a big purple button that says Create a Design. Welcome to Canva. We're going to click that Create a Design button. When you get that, you should get a box that pops up. In that box, you'll be able to type in what type of design you would like to create. So we're going to do an Instagram post. So I like to just make all of my designs Instagram post size because that works on pretty much every platform. But as you know, if you make something LinkedIn size or Twitter sized or poster size, Instagram will make you really mad because it will crop you in a lot of very weird ways. And so for me, Instagram post square is where I normally go. So once you see Instagram posts, you might have to type in the square. I didn't have to, but if you do, you want to click on that. And it's going to open your first blank Canva document. So exciting. So now I'm going to walk you through some of the tools in Canva. Does anyone have any questions about opening that Canva document? If at any point I'm going too fast, let me know and we can slow down. So Canva has two really important toolbars. The first one is down the left side of your screen. This is where you're going to figure out how you're going to do your design, add photos, add images, text, all of those things. You also have a toolbar across the top of your screen. This is if you want to change the name of your document, if you want to save it, if you want to download it, upload it, if you need to go to your version history and things like that. So we're going to start with this first tool on the left-hand side called Design. So if everyone can click on Design. There are so many different templates in Canva. This is why I love Canva. I don't design anything from scratch. Fun fact, I'm not a graphic designer at all, but I do a lot of graphic design work because Canva makes it easy. So say I want to do a donation drive template. I can type in donation drive and it pulls up all of these different templates related to donation drives. So you can scroll through and figure out which one makes the most sense for you. So take a second, pick a template. When you click on a template, you're going to see the template style like you see on my screen. That's going to show you what colors and fonts that you're using. Save that for later. You'll want to know that. You can also scroll down to find similar templates if you want to change the one that you're using. So can I have everybody pick a template, place it, and then give me a thumbs up? To place it, all you do is click, by the way. Give me a thumbs up once you got a template. Thank you, Genesis. I see that. Awesome. Seeing some thumbs up in the chat. Cool, cool. All right, so the next tool that we're going to look at is Elements. So in that left-hand toolbar, you're going to see the thing that says Elements. So say I want to add a heart because we're pulling at the heartstrings, right? That's what we're doing a lot in nonprofit. So I want to search it. I added it on accident at first. And it's going to bring up all different types of options for hearts. So if you look here, you can just go and look at all of them. You can look at heart shapes. You can look at graphics, photos, frames, videos. There's all types of ways to add a heart. So I would love for you to just add a heart somewhere on your Canvas screen. Alicia, what's your question?
So I got a question, Arkayla. So let's say you want to use a photo, and you may want to use a photo that might be already on Canva, or a photo that you might get off like an online thing or whatever. How do you know when, like, what? Because you don't want to like infringe on somebody's copyright. How you know what photo is legit to use?
So anything in Canva you can use. So that's why I love Canva and their stock images, because you don't have to worry about copyright. And then when you're maybe Googling images and things like that, you can look at the information typically on the link and it'll say what your copyright restrictions are. Oftentimes what I say, if you didn't take the picture, typically consult the artist. If it doesn't say free use on it, you would want to consult the people that took the picture or the website that the picture is on before using it. But once again, this is another reason I love Canva, because they have so many options for things that you can do yourself. So if you clicked and added an element, so say you added your heart, and thank you for that question, Alicia. Now you see that there is a box around your heart, correct? If you pull from the corners of that box, it'll keep everything proportional. So you click and drag, and I can make it smaller or bigger. So can I have you all resize the element that you dropped? And once you resize it, you can also move it. So you just click and drag, kind of like you would on a PowerPoint, things like that. It's another reason I love Canva. They really hammered PowerPoint into our brains in elementary school for me. And so this is kind of like designing a PowerPoint, and I can design whole websites here. So can you resize and click? So that's the elements tool. So we're going to go through some of the elements that are probably already on your design. So I'm sure you have some text on your design. If you click on the text box, wherever it is, like I just clicked on mine, and then double click, you can highlight all the text. I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to put comms will save the, if I can type, world. So I was able to click in it and then change the text in it. So if you guys can click into one of your text boxes and type whatever you would like. So mind you, we're just experimenting with it today. You'll hop off this call, and I promise you, you're going to spend a lot of your afternoon on Canva playing around. The point of this tutorial is just get you introduced to each of the tools. That way you can go experiment later. So if you can click onto one of your text boxes and change what it says. Text boxes also, if you drag from the sides, this longer piece, you can drag it to make it multiple lines. You can also make the text bigger by dragging from the corners or smaller. I'm going to make mine really big. If this toolbar is ever bothering you, there's always going to be a little arrow to move it out of the way so you can just work right in your document. All right, has everyone played around with their text, changed the text a little bit? Awesome. So back to this left-hand toolbar. We're going to go a little bit more into text. So you can actually click text and you can add text. So you can add a title, subtitles. So these are kind of different sizes. If you scroll down a little bit, you see that they have some really cool pre-made text. So say I want to click the register now one. I know that this text I can change to say donate now. So I'm going to click in, donate now. And then when you want to move it, you'll just want to click off of what you're on and then come back and grab, oh, moving the wrong box. Sorry, come back and find the box that you're trying to work in and move it. This, I need a lot smaller. So I'll move it over. So if I can have you guys add some text. Now your design is probably going to start looking a little busy, a little crazy. Mind you, this tutorial is just that you get familiar with every single one of the tools that are going to be the most important. So if you can add some text, you can do it from one of the pre-made text, or just click title and type whatever you would like. Either one works. Perfect. So have we all added text? Figuring out how to move the boxes around. Can I get some thumbs ups before I keep it going? Awesome. I saw a couple. Cool. So now we're going to keep moving. So we're not going to get into the brand piece right now. Instead, we're going to go to uploads. So if you guys can click uploads, that's in your left-hand toolbar. So this is where you can upload your own images. Like Alicia was just saying, what if you have a really great photo that you took at a community event, or you want to add your logo? You can click uploads and then upload files. And when you click there, you'll be able to upload a file. So if I click upload files and say I want, I don't know what random stuff I have in here. But this is essentially how you upload a file. I don't have any pictures readily available today. But you'll just click right in here, and then you'll upload a file. You can upload audio files, so I can upload an audio file here. You can upload video files. So I want you guys to practice just uploading a file. There's quite a few that I have uploaded, as you see. I use this quite a bit. And then once again, anything that you click on over here will automatically pop up on this side. So can everyone work on uploading a file? And once you're feeling good about that, if you want to give me a thumbs up again. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the thumbs ups. Cool. So now we're going to look at what is actively on our page. And I'm going to show you some cool things with your top toolbar. So when you click into your text, you can highlight it. And you're going to see a toolbar appears at the top that tells you what what font you're using, how big it is, what color, some font options like bolding, italicizing, underlining, what alignment you're going to use, effects, all these cool things. So in here, once again, if you just click anywhere in a text box, if you wanted to actually change the text, you have to highlight it. Play around with what font that you're using, the color that you're using. They have quite a few different fonts in here as well. You can also upload your brand fonts, which I can show that in a different, we're going to do another workshop, I'm pretty sure. That's going to be some advanced Canva. So after you guys play around with this for a month, you'll get the chance to come back where I show you some like super cool tricks in Canva. So yeah, play around with the text. You can change the font size. So maybe I want this just 100 instead. I don't like that. We're going to go back bigger. So when it comes to what alignment to use, that's really kind of viewer's choice, designer's choice. So right now, for example, my text is right aligned and it's hitting this heart. I don't like that. So I know that I want to move it back to left aligned. That way it's not messing with the elements that I have on the other side of the screen. So essentially you want to work on the alignment to make sure that the things on your page are not overlapping. Unless it's an intentional overlap, which once again, we'll go over that in the next workshop. We're just kind of working on how to get elements on today and work with templates. So yeah, that's the best way to kind of decide on alignment. So that's all of your text tools. You can also change colors. So I'm going to show you something cool about the color. So if I highlight all of my text and click text color, I can actually make my text the same color as the photos that I used. So say you pull a photo of, I don't know, flowers, and you really want your text to match the color of the flower petals. It's really easy. As soon as you add in a photo on Canva, you can actually change the color to whatever photos you already have, you can change the color to whatever colors are already in that photo. So play around with your colors. Also in the Advanced Canva workshop, you'll learn a little bit how to build a brand kit. So you can see my brand colors here if I want to do brand colors. And yes, I will totally show you how to embed that link in just a second. That's a great question, Tracy. Thank you. So play with your fonts, change up the colors, change up the font, and see what you're liking. After that, we're going to go into, if you added a Donate Now button, or even if there's any buttons on your site, any of the elements can be linked. So thank you for asking that question, Tracy. So if you click on any element, whether it's a text box, the heart, anything on your screen, and you see these 3 dots in the corner, that stands for more, and you click in there, you have all of these options of what you can do. You can copy it, you can delete it, You can make it a different layer. I'll go over that in the next Canva workshop. And you can add a link. So if you click link, you can just throw a link on there. And then done. And now it's linked. So the donate now button, I can once again click the element. If elements are grouped, you can hit ungroup and then click the words and then link. You just add your link there. Perfect. So I want you guys, oh, right? It's so cool. I love the E. That's literally how I felt. So the three dots, when you click on the elements, any element on your page, you should see three dots pop up on the right-hand side. So you'll see a little trash can, a little duplicate button, like a chat bubble for comments. You click those three dots, you should get the option to add a link. Did you find it, Ruby? Let me know if not.
Link isn't coming up as an option for me when I click the dots.
That's interesting. What element are you clicking on? Is it text?
I did the donate now. I did the donate now button like you did.
That's interesting. I'm actually not sure on that. I haven't really.
Oh, you know what? I ungrouped it and there it is.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So I'm going to show you guys a few hacks with the grouping as well. So sometimes you start moving elements around. So say I want to move this, and then I'm like, oh snap, people are not going to know that I need it to say donate now. So if I always want the donate next to the now, I can do that, and then I can highlight them both and hit group. That also took that background element, so hold on. Let me show you how. So sometimes Canva is a little bit of playing around. So grouping is important, so I'll show you why. So on this template that I picked, there's this cool little gradient fade on it. I know that any of the text that I move and things like that is not going to affect that, or at least I don't want it to. So I'm going to click on that element. Do the things. And then when I get the three dots there, there's something called lock. If there's an element that you know you're not going to move, like a background photo, a gradient, the little heart in the corner, when you click those three dots and you click lock, you lock it. So now it's not moving, and I don't have to worry about how I move the other stuff on it. So now I know that gradient's not moving. I can move other stuff around. And then, yes, I know that I always want donate now together no matter what I do. So now I can drag and highlight both and group them. And now that can be moved anywhere on the screen. So I want you guys to work with locking some elements and grouping some elements. So once again, to lock, you'll just click on it. When the three dots come up, click lock. And now that element is not moving. To unlock, when you click on it, you'll see this little bubble that has the comment and the lock sign. Click unlock. And now it can move around again. So I want you guys to plan your designs with grouping and locking.
Quick question, Arkayla. When you say group, you talking about group like maybe 2 or 3 elements together, or group
Yes.
an element of text together? Like, explain a little bit more.
Yes, thank you so much for asking that question. So when I say grouping, I mean you can keep 2 elements together. So it could be like this green background and the words donate now. If I want this white line to always be with this text right here, I can also group that. So grouping can apply to just words. It can be a word and an element. It can be 2 elements. So say I always want the heart and the background image to move together. Well, the background image isn't moving. So say I want the heart and this text to always stay together. I can highlight. For some reason, that one's not wanting to group for me. Hold on. Oh, because I locked the image. So remember, if you lock something, you can't group it. Because that image, the thing that you lock no longer can be edited, essentially. So now that I unlock the heart, I can group those things. That way I know all of this stays together. The thing that's convenient about grouping is, say I wanted to rearrange a lot of elements on this page. So maybe I want the save the world down here and the donate up here. I don't have to move all of these elements individually. I can move them in groups. And so that makes it a lot easier. And then you can just move items around. All right. Any questions about grouping, locking, any of that? No? All right. So now we're going to work on images, background. Where is it? Background, there we go. So right now there's a photo in the background of my slide. Chances are the template that you picked already had a background. So if you go to that left-hand scroll bar, you'll see backgrounds, and you can search pretty much anything. One really cool function of Canva is all of its search bars. When you type in an idea, so say I want gradient, we have a lot of red going on, so gradient red. If I click that, it'll bring up a lot of cool options for gradient red. I can click on one and it'll replace the background for me. I like that one. So play around with replacing your background. Ooh, that one's pretty cool. I'm also just kind of playing in Canva while I'm showing y'all. So just know that you can lose hours playing in Canva.
I missed, what did you click on to get to the backgrounds? I'm
So the
sorry.
background, so in your left-hand toolbar, you might have to scroll down a little bit, and then there should be a button that says
Okay.
background.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep, you might have to scroll down a little bit.
I see
Emily,
it.
did you find it when you scrolled as well?
Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for asking the questions.
Hi, Arkayla. It's Emily. And no, I don't have the button.
You don't have that button?
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Interesting. Okay.
My options end at apps.
Apps. Can you click? Is there anything that says more? Because that's a new one. I haven't encountered that problem before.
Is it possible that it's just because I'm on a trial rather than?
The free version should have it as well, but maybe I can show you another hack for changing the background if you don't have that popping up. Sorry about that. Well, here, let me show you guys another hack for changing the background. Do you have so we have elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I type red box in my elements.
I was able to click apps and get to background.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I don't know who that was that said that, but thank you for that hack.
You just got to scroll down. It says more from Canva, and then you can see charts, photos, audio, background, etc.
Thank you. Cool. Can you guys try to see if you click apps, if background comes up? Awesome. Thank you. Happy that that worked. So locking the text, but not the frame around it. So you'll just have to click that frame as well, and then click lock on that individual element, Ruby. Awesome. Happy it worked, Carlette.
Okay, I got a quick question. So let's say if I want to, for my background, and I'm putting my logo in the background, but instead of overpowering the text, I put it in the gradient format.
Yes.
So do you recommend logo being a gradient? Because even though, when you put it in gradient, it kind of lose the colors and the, do you recommend it, or you just recommend just leaving the logo as it is without putting the gradient format?
Well, I don't recommend doing your logo covering the entire background because typically you're going to have words on top of it and you want your logo to be very visible. So one thing you can do though, if you want your logo a little bit more discreet in the corners, say this heart is my logo. I can click on it and we have this toolbar across the top and there's this thing that looks like a gradient and it's called transparency. I can click in that and I can fade it out a little bit or I can bring it back to full. So transparency is another good tool as well. So I can show that again. So any element that you would like to click on, including images, your logo, this little heart, you click on it. When that top toolbar comes up, this little thing with the squares that are kind of fading away, you click there and you can change the transparency. So say I wanted to, like Alicia said, add my logo. So here's my logo. I can make it dimmer or brighter. On any images, so my logo right now has a white background, which doesn't look good on this post. In the advanced version of Canva, you can click something called background remover. It'll scan it and it will take away the background for you. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit about Canva Pro versus regular Canva as well. And then you can resize, drop it in the corner. Perfect. All right, any questions about the tools that I've walked you through today in Canva? So one of the best pieces of advice I can give in working with Canva is just play around in it. You're going to kind of learn your design style. So sometimes some people like to add all their text first. Some people like to build off a template. Some people like to add all their images first. I love to start with the template and then build around it. So these elements I'll end up rearranging, changing the words, things like that. If you want to do a second design in this same document, another cool thing, add a page. And now you're starting again. Other cool elements that you will learn about in Canva that you can use. Say this document is sized for Instagram, but we need one sized for LinkedIn. In your top toolbar, kind of in that blue, you can click resize. That's in Canva Pro, which I'll talk to you about in a second as well. And I can resize it to a presentation, a video, all types of things. I'm trying to think of other important hacks to show you in Canva. So you see the transparency one. I feel like that's kind of the basics. With these tools, you can jump in there and start playing around with Canva to make graphics. So let me go back to my presentation. Make sure I went through all the things we were supposed to do. So we made an account, we made our Instagram post, we looked through templates, we played with the elements, the text, the images, we uploaded images, we looked through a couple of useful shortcuts, and now let's talk about downloading. So obviously this is not done, it's looking a little crazy, but when it is completed, the way that you download your image is you click the share button in the upper right-hand corner. It's typically white on the purple background. And you want to click download. Now I know that this is just an image for social media, so I would use a PNG. Say I wanted this to be a PDF, so I can send it via email. I could do PDF. If I wanted to print it, PDF print, Canva kind of makes that a little bit easier. If you want to do videos, GIFs, you can even save it as a PowerPoint document now, which that is new. That was not existing just a few months ago on Canva.
Why would
So
you
I know I want to
save it as a video?
as a video, so you would just put
Yeah.
MP4 video.
Why would you want to though?
Why would you? Well, if there's moving graphics.
There's moving around. Okay.
Or if you add a video in. So if you go into elements, maybe I want people waving. So if I want to add a video of people waving, I could add this. And so then I would want to save it as a video because that'll play.
Gotcha. Cool.
Other important thing to mention, sorry, I'm a little moving backwards. When you add an element, see how this is in front of the text? We want the text ahead of it, right? So you'll click on the element that you have in front, and you'll go to that top toolbar again and click position. And I can send it backwards to where it's just behind the heart. I can send it back to where it's behind everything, including the gradients, the heart, and the words. And you can bring it forward to the front again. So moving around what order things are in. If you ever worked in Photoshop, there is layers in Canva. So say I want the image to be in front of the gradient, in front of the background image, but behind those words and those words. So now when I move it, in front of, sorry, but behind these words, so now it's the order of what layer you're working in.
I'm so sorry. How did you get there again to the layers?
No worries. Sorry, I went through that kind of fast. So if you click on the element that you're working with,
Okay.
position.
Oh, and then
it's
it
going to
just pops
start
up.
on the page that looks like a range where you just move it forward or backward. You can click into layers,
Got it.
and now I know that this one will be the layer behind the text.
Well, you can just
And I
drag and
can
drop
even,
it.
sorry, go ahead.
I just said, oh, you can drag and drop it. That's cool.
Yep, you can drag and drop it. So say I want the heart to be behind the picture though. I can move that one behind it. So the things at the top of your list are your top layer, bottom of the list are your bottom layer. So I always kind of keep the background things in the bottom. And then you can move other elements around. So say I want this gradient to, well, it's locked, so I can't. So if I can move this to where it's back on bottom, on top, things like that. Cool. Sorry, we went back into tools a little bit. So once again, share. So there's a couple different ways to share. Obviously, you can download just as a graphic. If you want someone else to look at this for people to collaborate and work on the same link with you, you see the part that says collaboration link. You're going to click, and you can do anyone with link if you want to send it to a team member. You can make it to where they can edit, they can comment, or they can just view. So I want to say edit, copy link, and I can throw it in the chat. And then if anybody wants to open my document, you'll actually be able to edit this document that I'm in now. So it's a really good way to work collaboratively in Canva. You can also make a public view link. So say you kind of want a PDF that people can look at, and you designed it in Canva, but you want to make it really easy to share. If you click public view link, it's actually going to generate a public view link for you. So I click there, and now when I drop it in the chat, you'll see if you click on it, this will just take you to that link. And it won't take you to a new Canva document. It'll just take you to the link. So you can send PDFs as links now. If you want to do a video here and create it as a public view link, change the space, change the shape of the element or photo on the document. So changing shapes of photos. Thank you, Alicia, for that question. You're going to want to add a frame. So if I type in heart frame and place my heart frame, then I can drag and drop my video into the heart frame. I did that really fast. I recognize that. So let me show you again.
Cool. Show that again. That's so cool.
Yeah, I got you. That one's cool, right? So if I want a heart frame, you can do square, whatever kind of frame you want. The thing, it literally will say frame, and you'll see the image, blank image in the background. You click that onto what the document that you're working on, and then whatever image or video you want, you drag and drop it. And now you got that too. Casey, your facial reactions are my favorite. Thank you for that. Need that encouragement. Canva's really cool, guys. Like, I am not just weird when I say I'm excited about this thing. It actually does do a lot of really cool things. All right. So I feel like I showed you guys a lot of things that you can do. And your design probably looks crazy right now, like mine does, right? It's got a bunch of elements and colors and text. But this is a really good place to start, just knowing what all the tools are in Canva. So I'm going to click back, and now we're all in this document if you guys want to design something in my document too. So now you know how to send a link to collaborate in Canva, you know how to download your images, and you know how to play around with some of those tools. So we did all this. So now let's talk about, okay, we know how to make a document in Canva, right? And this recording will be available afterwards, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. So now we're going to talk about, okay, we know how to make a graphic. What are we going to do with it? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to really think about some days that you feel like you can send out a graphic and text message, an email, on Instagram, and I want you to schedule it out between now and Give STL Day. So I want you to think about, okay, I know on Mondays, I'm always checking in with these 5 friends. Put it on your calendar. That Monday, I don't have a good calendar behind me. Monday, what's next Monday? It's got to be like the 3rd or something like that, the 2nd. Monday the 2nd or 3rd, I'm going to text 5 friends. Write it down in your agenda. Put it on your calendar. You have these tools now, so you should definitely go ahead and start scheduling using them, right? On here, I have a couple pro tips for how to use these graphics. So if you're going to send an email asking people to donate, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the best days for email. As y'all probably know in your personal lives, Mondays, not a great day for email. I'm getting a million emails on Mondays. I'm like, I'm not going to respond to this right now. I have other priorities. Fridays, I'm ready to go home for the week. I'm probably not going to look at all my emails too deeply on Fridays either. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are best for emails. Easter's coming up. Don't email people the week before or the week after Easter because they're getting ready for Easter and trying to wrap up projects before the holiday. And then when they get back, they're like, oh, snap, I had all these things that I still have to work on. And so then they're catching up after the holiday. Schedule 2 to 3 touch points. So if you send this image out one time to your friend, then you say, thanks, girl. That was super cool. And they're not going to donate. But if you send it a second time, they'll be like, okay, she's on me, right? She's going to really try to get me to donate. And then you send it that 3rd time, like, okay, let me go ahead and do this donation, right? And then also, anytime that you're sending out a graphic, send the link. Don't say, go visit my website to donate. Send it directly to the folks. That's really important. I don't know if you've ever had someone send you a survey or an Instagram video, and they're saying, hey, check this out. If they say, hey, go look up Wildflower Communications on Instagram and see their new post, how likely are you going to do that? Versus if you have the link right there in your text or your email, you can click it right there. So always include your link directly to your donation page in all of your messaging. Also, if you're using social media, tagging is going to be your best friend. I don't know if you've heard, but algorithms are doing weird things nowadays. And so it's really important for all of us to put on a little bit of a comms expert hat and use the power of tagging on social media. So you can tag your organization in any post that you do on your personal page. You can tag the St. Louis Community Foundation and use hashtags. So if it's hashtag Give Day, hashtag Give STL Day, hashtag nonprofits, hashtag St. Louis. And a really good hack, if you need a good hashtag for the work that you do, you can actually just Google what are good hashtags for nonprofits who support youth work. And Google will give you a ton of good hashtags. Ruby, I see you have a question.
I have a question about tagging
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Okay, so you type the @ sign and then you type their handle in there, and then it goes blue, and that's how you
Yes.
know that it's working?
Yes, correct.
Okay, because sometimes I do it and it never turns blue, and I don't know what, I'm
So
not sure what I'm doing wrong.
perhaps you might have a typo in what you're typing, or if that page is inactive. There's a lot of different reasons. So I have personally removed myself from working on social media because it's a pain. But there are a lot of different reasons that you might not be able to tag, but make sure that you have the handle correct and check for typos. And that's kind of the best advice I can give you on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely and I'm going to drop my email in the chat here in a second. So if you have additional questions like that, you can reach out to me personally and we can troubleshoot it together. Also, I know I told you to tag your organization. Make sure they're cool with that. So talk to your communications person at your org. Make sure they're okay with you tagging them in personal posts. For the most part, I'm sure they'll be fine with it. But always, when you're working in your organization, defer to the communications expert at your org and the things that they would like for you to do with this work as well. So I'm going to keep on going. Are there any other lingering questions for right now that I can answer for you all?
Okay, like you mentioned about the hashtag. I'm sorry, I had a phone call. What was the benefit of the hashtag again? I'm sorry.
Yes, so the benefit of the hashtags is that it helps you show up in the algorithm. So when you use hashtags, essentially what the algorithms are trying to do is see, are you human? Are you actually trying to connect with other individuals? Are you showcasing that you have those human connections? Thanks, Emily, for popping in. And so the hashtag will let people know that you're a part of the Give STL Day folks who are working. They'll let you know. So oftentimes I do hashtag comms. So now the algorithm knows that I'm a communications professional. It's kind of humanizing you by giving you personality traits and characteristics, and then you'll have a higher rank in the algorithm and show up on more people's pages. Any other lingering questions I can answer? Awesome. So let's stay connected, guys. This is a really, really awesome workshop. Thank you all for the really great questions. So you will be receiving some emails from me. Don't be surprised. One, I just want to say hi and introduce you a little bit more to my business and the work that I do, get to know you a little bit more. And then I'm going to send everyone this survey. I'm going to drop it in the chat now. If you want to do it today, no worries. If not, I saw a question. Do you have a favorite YouTuber or other resources to get further training? Canva itself has some really remarkable trainings. So you can just go into Canva and go into, I can actually show you on my screen. So if you go into Canva, go home, there should be, I haven't done it in a while, but I don't want to create a training document. Give me one. So Sherry, I will get back to you, but Canva has a really good classroom that can show you all types of cool tools in here. For some reason, it's escaping my brain how to get to it at the moment, but I'll make sure that I send that out as well in my follow-up email. Thank you for that. But what I just dropped in the chat is a link to a form, so you guys can let me know. What did you get out of this workshop that went well for you? Were there any other lingering questions? And then, Patrick, do you mind answering that question? When is Give STL Day really quick? believe it's May 8th this year, correct? Perfect. So yes, the form that I dropped in the chat, which I can drop one more time, if you fill that out, that'll let me know how you enjoyed the workshop today. It's okay if you don't get it filled out today. I'll send it out via email later. But if you fill that out, I do have a free email template that I'll be sending you guys out. Kind of like that first fill in the blank that we did at the beginning of the workshop. I'm going to send a version of that. That is for you to send personalized emails to your network asking them to donate to your organization for Give STL Day. So if you fill out that form, I just want a little information about you so I can get to know you a little bit. I can send over that free template. Once again, if you're not grabbing the link right here, totally fine. I'll send all that out via email later. Also on here, you can see all of my social media information. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. Follow me on Instagram. And you have my email. So I'll drop my email in the chat as well. That way it's easy to copy and paste. Reach out to me anytime. I love communications. I'm really, really, really excited to just be able to teach communications and build communications capacity specifically for mission-driven organizations. Other features for Canva Pro. Thank you for asking that question, Sherry. So Canva Pro, one, is free for nonprofits. So talk to your communications or your executive director about how to plug in your 501c3 or 501c4 status into Canva, because then it is free. If you want the personal version, it's only $12.95 a month, the best $13 I spend every single month. And the perks of Pro is that you get things like background remover. So like I was saying on my logo earlier, if I needed to go on this orange background and it's white, that's a little difficult, right? So I can click background remover and it automatically removes the background. There's more stock images as well in Canva Pro. And there's just some additional functionality like brand kits. So every time that I go to make a design, I don't have to worry about, oh shoot, what are my color codes and things like that. I can already have my logo uploaded, my color codes, the fonts that I use for my brand. So in this PowerPoint, I'll show you guys something really cool. Say I design a whole PowerPoint or slideshow and I want to change up the colors, but I know I want to use my brand colors. I can click shuffle and it'll change them for me using all my brand colors. That's some of the perks of Canva Pro. But definitely if you're working at a nonprofit, go talk to your comms person, go talk to, oh, perfect, yes. Talk to the folks there about getting that Canva Pro for free. Later on, we're gonna do that kind of advanced Canva workshop. So make sure you guys are playing around in Canva. That way I can show you cool things like adding in your color palette, your logos. You can have brand voice. I haven't added these things myself yet, but I'm working on it. And other really cool things that you can do in Canva Pro. You can even schedule social media content in Canva. So it can be your social content scheduler. You can bring in some AI functionalities to bulk produce posts for you and things like that. So Canva Pro, definitely worth it. Really helpful. And you guys will learn more about that next workshop. So that's all that I have for you today. I'm going to give you guys about 20 minutes back of your lives. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, you have my email. I will reach out via email as well to make sure that you have all of my contact information and we can stay connected. Thank you for attending. Thank you for listening to me. And thank you for just understanding that Canva is pretty damn cool. I think you guys will be using this tool a lot now that you know how to use it. Feel free to reach out with questions anytime. And yeah, go forth and be amazing. Super excited for this giving day. And I'm going to pass the mic to Patrick to kind of close us out here.
Arkayla, thank you very much on behalf of all of our nonprofits that participated today. Those of you who are with us, be sure to tell your friends about what a great session it was. They can see it on the Give STL Day website under nonprofit and then trainings. The video will be posted and Arkayla will be back with us at the end of March to do the advanced Canva. So you have, like she said, a month to practice with Canva that she taught you today if you're not familiar with it. And join us again at the end of March when she comes back and does the advanced session. And also on the Give STL Day website under trainings, we have other trainings upcoming. We have one, I believe, next Monday or Tuesday. I believe it's next Monday. But all of those that are already scheduled will be posted on the Give STL Day website. And we appreciate you joining us today and look forward to having you join us in future training sessions. So everybody have a great afternoon.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye. Thank you.
Yes. I'm also available until 1:30, so I can hang out here for a sec. If anyone wants to ask any more questions, let me know. Still got like an extra 15 minutes. And thank you all for all of the really kind words in the chat as well. I appreciate it. I don't know if you can
We'll
tell.
keep
I
it
really
open,
love what I
Arkayla.
do.
We'll
What
keep
was
it
that,
open
Patrick?
until everybody else logs out, and then we'll close it out.
Perfect. Thank you.
I have a question, Arkayla.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you were saying that there was a template, a calendar template in there, you know,
Yes,
for
so
planning the social media, and I didn't catch where that was.
Yes, so that's a part of the Canva Pro program, and I'm actually going to go over that tool in the next Canva workshop because that gets a little nitty-gritty into using the social media calendar. So if you can parking lot that for just a little bit longer, I can totally show that in the next workshop.
Okay.
And you can also reach out to me via email, and we can schedule a call so I can work with you one-on-one on that one.
Okay, because I do have the Canva Pro.
Okay.
If you could just lead me to where to search it, that would be helpful.
So the content scheduler, let me, my brain is in a slightly different gear today. Let me see if I can find it quickly for you. Here we go. So when you go to share, you're going to see a button that says see all with the 3 dots.
Okay.
You'll want to click there. And then you can actually post directly on your social media here. And then you can click, if you click see all again in the social section, and then click schedule, that'll take you to the scheduler in Canva. You'll have to connect all of your social media pages to your Canva account when you do that as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, it's a little bit more of a tedious process, but
Yeah.
yes, I'll make sure that we walk through those things during the Canva Pro workshop next. But yep, you'll click there. I love that they have
Okay.
Tumblr. I don't know if you guys are ever on Tumblr, but that's a really old social media.
I've heard of it. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much. That was a really helpful workshop.
Yay, I'm so happy to hear that. Any other
Absolutely.
lingering questions? Cool. Are you guys feeling good?
Okay, I put it on the chat, but I had asked, so when I try to move, like, you know how when you use a template, because sometimes I like to design my own, but when I'm crunched for time, I like to use templates. And so you know how when you try to move a text over and this like, or you trying to make it smaller or bigger, sometimes it doesn't move. Is it because it's locked or glued?
Most
or
likely it is locked. So when you click
Okay,
on the
got it.
element, you'll get this little toolbar like what, oh, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Silly me. Where to go? Here, I can share my screen. One sec. Share screen options. Give me just 1 second. Share screen. There we go. Okay, so when you click on the element, you see how it kind of has this little toolbar that comes up, and you can see the button that says lock. It looks like a lock. Try to click that, and then hopefully it'll unlock for you. And then you can move it around.
I see your PowerPoint. I don't see the actual Canva.
So I'm actually moving it here. Sorry, I was moving it in my PowerPoint too, but I'll do it on here. So in this Canva document, you click on the words. Yep. So you see the little thing that says lock?
Yep, I see it.
Yep. So if you unlock, it'll unlock.
Okay, so when I unlock it, I can be able to move the text around.
Yes.
Got it. And then the other question, so what I've noticed that I was reading on the top of your screen what it says position. What do they mean when it says position?
So that's if it's in front of the things, the other elements, or if it's behind. So if I click position here, so say I move the words to where they are behind this photo, but I want them in front of them. If you click position and click forward, it moves the words forward. I can click backward and it'll move them back. You can also go from arrange to layers and say, I always want these words in front of this photo, but I always want the heart in front of the words. I can just move things around. Now the heart's going to always be in front of these words. No matter where I put it, it'll always be in front. And no matter where I put this photo, it'll always be behind the words.
Got it. And I also see the flip. So what's the flip does?
Flip. So if I'm going to flip an element, you can literally flip it horizontal to where it's kind of facing the other way, or vertical. So say I have an image of a flowers. Let's see if I can find you a good example of why that matters. So if I have an image of flowers that I add, so I'm just gonna make this really big on my screen really quick. So moving that. Now say I want the flowers to be covering more of the right side of my screen. And click flip, and now it's over on that side. Or if I want it to be more on the bottom, flip, now it's that way. So it's helpful with just moving elements to where everything is kind of laid out in a way where everything's readable.
Cool. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Look out for that email from me, and definitely revisit this workshop as many times as you need to before Give STL Day, and reach out via email. I'm pretty available. I'm really happy to chat with anyone that has questions. I think, Patrick, we might be able to close it out.
Did you see that Tracy asked about
Oh,
on the
no,
chat?
I didn't see that. Oh,
So
yeah, thank you.
basically-
So registering as a nonprofit, I haven't personally done that yet, but if you go, I think, let me see what I can do there and troubleshoot with you. So maybe plans and pricing. I'm kind of experimenting with you. Feel education. So I'm not personally familiar with where that option is. My apologies, but I know it is free for nonprofits. So let me.
I think I may have found it. So
okay, cool. Sorry about that.
I'm working through trying to see if this works. So thank you.
There we go. Cool. So you can also, one cool thing about Canva is this top toolbar when you're on your home screen, you can always click the Help Center, and any question that you type in, you'll be able to find what you need. And then also, how did I get to this? 1 second, because that was the screen that I was looking for earlier, so I can show you all that. Yes, so settings. So yes, when you click settings, remember earlier I was talking about those workshops, you can click learn, and then you actually get to all of these really cool videos on how to use Canva Pro, the different functions. Learn. So we go Canva Design School. I'll send this out via email as well. That way you can look at that. And so in addition to the workshop you just did today, if you want to go into any of the specific tools or features in Canva, Canva Learn will give you the option to learn about all those. They have a ton of really, really good workshops. So I definitely recommend doing the Canva Learns as well.
Okay, I got a question. I noticed that when I want to talk to someone live on Canva for like bill, because I also have Canva Pro, but sometimes there might be some issue with my billing, and it's hard to talk to one live. Have you had that same experience?
So Canva is a little difficult to get to a human when you're trying to get help and resources. I will say, I don't really have any kind of best practices on that or any advice. Yeah, it's a lot of these websites now love to give you a chat bot and not a human. So yeah, if you just keep requesting from the chat bot to speak to a representative, just like we had to do on our phones, we needed to speak to a representative before, I would recommend doing that, but it definitely can be a little difficult to connect with a human to help you out with things on Canva for sure. For sure.
Well, I have you. Well, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. And thank you, St. Louis Community Foundation, for hosting it. So I'll be seeing you, well, again soon, but for this class, I'll be seeing you next month.
Yay. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Going once, going twice. Is there anything else? Y'all can always email me too.
Thank you again, Arkayla. Appreciate it.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much,
All right.
y'all.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.